Three, we're in. Good evening, all. This is your host, Annette, at Coaching You For You. I am incredibly excited tonight to have two guests with me, Tona and Teska, the TTs, the women who mean business, the authors at the book, at the story, at the woman. And tonight, Teska, I'm going to be asking a few questions, but this is a give and take audience. We are broadcasting to YouTube. Please, audience, hit the like and subscribe button. We are also on Facebook at Coaching You For You and at What Trenton Really Makes. We have broadcast and sent our link out across the state. Teska, welcome.
Thank you, Annette. Thank you very much. Great to be here with you this evening.
Tell me a little bit about Teska.
Teska, I am a child of God. I am a wife, a very delighted wife. I tell people my husband's name is Sam, and I am his wife for the rest of his life. I am the ecstatic mother of two adorable children, and I am recently become an author. I have several. I'm a member of the NCBW 100 Women, which is the National Black Coalition of Black Women, 100 Black Women. A member of ROSA, a member of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, and a couple of other things. I just can't bring it all to my memory right now, but I am just ecstatic to just be here and to be able to share part of my story, my family story, I should say, with the book that I wrote recently, and that was published on February 1, which is the first day of Black History Month. So it was so apropos that it was published on the first day of Black History Month, which made me ecstatic.
I'm very happy for you. Very happy for you. You spoke about a lot of different activities that you're involved in. And so at some point, we're going to talk about some of that and how we balance it, how we balance the mom role, the wife role, and the self-care role, because they're all very important. But in the meantime, Tona is back with us. Hi, Tona.
Hi.
Yes, she's here and we can hear. It's good to have you back.
I'm going to stay right here. I'm not even going to move. I don't know what's going on. Hi, beautiful ladies. How are you tonight?
We're well, thanks. You are both authors, and that is one of the reasons that I invited you on tonight. I showcase women every second Wednesday of the month. So, again, this is Coaching You For You. I'm your host, Annette. I have Teska Frisbee and Tona Buck with me tonight. They have both written books, Teska most recently and Tona continuously. And so I'm very proud of these women. They have done phenomenal work, and I'm going to give them the opportunity after asking a few questions. And we move along quickly in this podcast because we don't want to keep our audience long, but we do want to send a message. And so my first question for you before I move forward, Tona.
Yes.
Tona?
Yes.
Can you hear me? How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. I have the flu, so I'm feeling like somebody's punching me in my face right now. I'm honored to be on your show.
You don't look like it, and I'm suffering allergies, swollen eyes, the whole nine. But we're here tonight, and I'm glad to have you. And so I want to start with a few questions. And the first question is, when did you realize there was a writer inside you? Teska?
That's actually been a little while ago. I used to love reading books. And so with that, I've always had a story in me. When my mother passed some years back, I started writing a book actually the month after she passed, which I have yet to finish. But I just knew that there was a lot in me that I wanted to share. I felt that God had put a lot in my spirit and in my space. I figured he gave me a lot on my plate they say to whom much is given, much is required. And so I figured God is requiring me to get this out and to share the messages that he's birthed within me.
The spirit and the space. You hold on to that because I'm going to come back to it. Tona. Tona? Hello? So we're having some difficulty. We'll catch up and we'll keep moving. In the meantime, you can see her beautiful face.
Yes, I'm sorry, I can hear you.
And she has a phenomenal story.
Going in and out. I'm going to somebody. Am I asking the same question? So.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And so we're still having the difficulties? No, we're having the difficulties with hearing and you're still freezing up. You're freezing up.
I love you.
We can't hear you. I'm going to come back to you, Tona.
I'm going to come back again. Go ahead, guys.
Okay.
I'm going to go out and come back.
All right. Tesca, you have a phenomenal story. And your book that was published on February 1st tells that story. How long did it take you to write it?
Oh my goodness, that took me probably about a month, if that long. I just kept changing things in my head, things that I was actually adding more things because I wanted folks to just get a better glimpse, have a better insight into the world that I'm trying to share with them. So it took me no more than a month actually to write it, but it was just the feeling that it was good enough to be read. That was the part, my own apprehension is the part that probably was the biggest delay, because I had it and then I put it aside and had it and like, this is just for play, and just not feeling self-worth. So it took me a minute to get there. And then after I spoke with my husband, and he's one of the biggest encouragers. He's my biggest cheerleader, I'm thankful to say. He thought he loved it. He thought it was a great book and that it had a good message to it. So with that, it gave me a little more confidence in myself. And I was like, you know what, let's just do it. Let's go ahead and let's get it published. And that's exactly what happened. We got it published. So I procrastinated after it was written, and I laid it down and put it aside and reread it and tweaked it. And then I wanted to put it to pictures and found some pictures and then found this phenomenal little man. And then we just put it all together, and it was just a beautiful marriage all together.
And so tell us, lift your husband up for a minute here. Tell us who he is and what he does.
So that's my awesome man, my honey bunch of oats, I call him.
Look at that smile. Oh my gosh.
That man, that it's the sugar in all of my coffee and all of my hot chocolate, all of that, and then some. That is Sam Frisbee. He used to be called Freeholder Frisbee. He is now Commissioner Frisbee. To me, he's just Sam. He is my honey. He is just all that and then some. I thank God every day that I get to wake up and look over and see him still there. He is the father of our two beautiful children. He is a worker, barring none. He is the CEO of the Capital Area YMCA, and I cannot tell you how many boards he's on because I lose count. But he's out there. He's in the community. He's been working in this pandemic every single day with the Capital Area YMCA here in Trenton. They have expanded. They have grown. They have been feeding thousands of people per day. It is just phenomenal what the work that he does, his dedication to whatever he does it in excellence. So he encourages me to work and operate in excellence as well. So I'm doing my best to make him proud and the rest of my family proud, including my mother-in-law, Miss Janine LaRue, and all of the rest of our family. I'm doing my best to make my family proud, my father, mother, even in her passing, and everyone else that I am connected with, my village.
And so, Tesca, you're droodling.
I know. He makes me do that.
Incredible. Hey, listen, in love is the best place to be in the world. I've been there. I know what it's like.
23 years of it.
And I can appreciate how happy it makes you. And I just want to take a minute to give Janine LaRue Frisbee a shout out. A shout out
Frisbee
in
LaRue.
Frisbee LaRue. Thank you.
There you go. You're welcome.
Frisbee LaRue. I want you to look her up at LaRue's Cafe. She has a phenomenal podcast. And as you can see, it's running across our screen. Lift her up. And so, Tesca, when you're writing, what is your schedule like? So it took you a month. I'm excited about this. Tell me the name of the book.
The name of the book is called Different, Just Like You. And folks talked about changing it to this and changing it to that and to make it correct this way. But that's not how it fit me. For me, it's different because we are all different, but we're just like each other. And so that's what it is. Different, just like you. And so that's the name of it. And it's a phenomenal story. It is relatable to anybody, everybody, regardless of your ethnicity, your religion, whatever your political party is, you will be able to relate to this book.
Just Like You is about people. It's about the human in us. When it comes to the human in us, there is no race. It is the human race. It is those of us who understand that we are one. And Just Like You tells you a little bit about that. Do you have a copy of the book you can hold up? Let's see it. Get it in there, face front. Different, Just Like You. How can they purchase this book before we go any further? Tell them how to buy it.
So they can go on right now. They can go on Amazon.com and they can purchase this book. In the coming weeks, they can go to eBay, Barnes & Noble, Walmart.com, and the list continues to go on. But right now we are on Amazon. We are live. So you can type in Different, Just Like You, put in my name by Tesca T. Frisbee, and it will pop up. It is now in hard copy as well as paperback, as well as ebook. So you can get all three versions of the book right now. And I have several people. I was jealous because so many folks were on Facebook and they're taking pictures with their book. I'm like, I don't have my copy yet. So my publisher, the fabulous Nicole Major, she dropped me off a copy yesterday so that I would have one. So I'm very excited. And my son and all of my family are just over the moon excited about just getting it and actually seeing it in hand. Knowing that it was published is one thing, but when you have something that's tangible that you can just hold in your hand, it just makes it that more real to you.
I tell you, I just published where they can buy the book, I believe. Is that it, Sam? Is that what he's published? It absolutely is. It's on Amazon. It's in front of us. It's right below our chin. Check it out. This is how you get your book. And we're going to keep working because we want Tona here with us. And she's coming back. We're having some technical difficulties.
Always.
And so this is where you can publish the book. You can purchase the book. And so I just want to thank Sam for that because it's important. And now just take a little bit and tell us about the book, Tesca. Tell us about it. Tell us how you felt. Look, you can do it. Put your heart into it. Tell us how you felt about writing this book and what it means to you.
I kind of digress a little bit because I will get very emotional about this book. So this book was
birthed. You just slobbered over Sam, so that's okay. You can do that. You just slobbered when you were talking about Sam.
Yeah, he just makes me my world just lights up with the thought of that man.
Yes.
But this book came because as my family and I live our day to day, we have a child who was diagnosed at birth with cerebral palsy. And we always tell people that cerebral palsy is his diagnosis. It is not who he is. And so we go out and we create life. We treat life just like every other family. We have expectations, we have dreams, we have hopes for that little man along with our other child. And we try to give him the full sense of normalcy as he possibly could have. So when we go out, people will stare, and they will. I mean, I literally watched someone stare so hard at my son because he was sitting in a wheelchair. Not that he had things and gadgets and everything all over him. He was sitting in his wheelchair, and the guy literally walked into a pole because he was just he could not take his eye off him, and he was like, and then we had other people who would look, and I would say, if you're waiting for him to perform, he's not an actor, he's not going to perform. But we were just trying to go through our day, and my son is he's one of the most polite and sweet little boys that you will ever meet. And I know you know, Annette, and Tony, you know as well. He is a ladies' man. If he sees you, he will he will kiss your hand. He will tell you hi. If you stand still enough, he'll tell you about the love of God. And he just loves life. And he's that child that does not complain. He has been through so much. He's been through surgeries. He's endured a lot, and he does not complain. So this book was written because I was frustrated. And to tell you the truth, it was with more adults than it was children. Adults were showing so many types of biases with how they were reacting to my son that I had to get this book written. And I was just frustrated that they would do that and that they don't see themselves and how unfair it is. And to just because, and they were being judged, I felt they were being judgmental. And my son said something which solidified that I really needed to say this. He said, Mom, why are they staring at me? I don't know. Or he asked me, I said hi to them and they didn't say hi. People would get so engrossed in staring at him, they couldn't even say hi back. And he says hi to everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, hi to a baby. He says it. So this book was written to show people that it doesn't matter what he looks like. It doesn't matter what's going on in his world. He's different, but he's just like you. Even identical twins, there's something different about them. They can't marry the same man. At least I will hope they're not going to marry the same. If they have children, their children will not be exactly the same. There is something different about every single last one of us. And if we would embrace that, I wish I had this book ready on January 6th, and that everybody that was out there at that building that was in that riot, I would love to have handed them each a copy of this book to let them know. Doesn't matter even your affiliate, your party that you're affiliated with. It does. We can agree to disagree. And my saying is now, we're all different, but what is your different going to mean? Is your different going to mean that you are going to be confrontational, or are you going to give it is it opportunity, or is it opposition? That's how I put it. And so let's learn from each other. Just because I'm different from you doesn't mean that we have to butt heads. That really should open up an opportunity to say we have something to learn from one another. You're different, I'm different. You pray, I pray. We may pray completely differently, but we still pray. We still believe in a higher power. We know that we're not here of ourselves. So let's learn from each other. That doesn't mean that I hate you because you cover your head, or I say I don't want to cover my head. That doesn't make you my enemy. It means there's an opportunity for me to learn from you. And that's what this book is really all about. And even though it looks like it's written and is geared more towards children, the message really is for adults, because adults need to understand that we are the ones who are teaching our children. Our children are looking at us. They are watching and listening to what we say, and they really are listening. You can tell children all you want to, do as I say and not as I do. They're going to do as you do. They're going to do as you say. So watch what you say, watch what you do, because our children, our leaders, our future leaders, they're watching us, and we're teaching them how to treat each other.
That's right. They're sponges.
Yes, they are sponges. They absorb everything. And the one thing you think that they didn't see and they didn't catch, yes, they did. They caught it. Yeah, they caught it.
I think it's a phenomenal book. I am going to place my order as soon as this podcast ends.
Thank you so much.
And I want to bring Tona on screen for a second here. Tona, are you ready? You ready?
Yeah. I'm trying to. Can you hear me? I don't know what's going on in that.
You're breaking up.
Can you hear me? Oh my
We can't
God. Give me at
stay
least.
close.
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know why I'm breaking up. This is so frustrating. Can you hear me now?
Hear you?
It is. You're breaking up, and it is
Yes.
frustrating because you have a
But it's breaking
phenomenal
up, right?
story to tell. Keep trying. Keep trying.
I know. Annette, can you do me a favor? Can you email me the invite so I can get better on my computer?
Yes.
And now I just said the whole thing and didn't mess up. Go figure.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Let me see if I
Stay close because I think the shortage is in your mic. I think the shortage is in her mic. So, Tesca, let's keep going.
Okay. And I'm actually part of one of Tona's groups, actually. Tona is the organizer. She started ROSA, which is Rising Over Sexual Abuse. And I'm actually a part of that organization as well, along with the Phenomenal Smith Family Foundation of New Jersey, who I currently am working with.
I love it. I see that Sister Janine is in our comments. If you'll send her the link, I'd like her to tap in here for a minute and just share with us how she feels about this book and what it means to her. And so, Sam, if you would send Janine the link, we would absolutely appreciate it. But Tesca, one of the reasons we're here tonight is because it is important. My book is called Lift Her Up. And I've picked it up and put it down and picked it up and put it down. And now that I'm retired, effective March 1st, I've made a commitment to finish the book. I have a lot to tell you. And I am particularly proud of the fact that you wrote this book because in my heart of hearts, I believe that just as it says at the top of the screen, we don't have to be perfect to be amazing. We are amazing just because, and that's all of us in our own way. We are amazing. I am particularly proud of you, and I want you to know that. Move into your mic.
I appreciate that, sister to sister. I really do. That means a lot to me.
Yes, yes. It not only am I proud of you, but the work as a direct result of this book, the people that you are going to touch and help them understand that we're all just people is going to be amazing. And I commit to you today through this podcast, as well as a few other things I'm going to be doing. I'm going to market your book. I'm going to push your book. Listen, here we go. I want people to hear you and see you. You are a beautiful face, but inside of all of that, you're so much more. There's an incredible person in there who is mothering incredible children and wifing up an incredible husband. And people need to know that, one thing, just one thing makes the difference. Absolutely. So I thank you. And I'd really hope to get Tona in because Tona has a phenomenal story.
Yes, she does.
Phenomenal.
Yes, it really is.
The story speaks to her journey, where she's been, where she is, and where she's going. And Tona keeps pushing. She keeps sending the message, I'm here. And in spite of it all, I am okay. I am better. I'm moving forward. I'm reaching out to help other people. And you both are so very important tonight because of the work you're doing to help other people. That makes the difference. It absolutely makes the difference. And so
Then can I just say what you're doing is phenomenal. Lifting, first of all, sisters lifting up sisters is absolutely needed. And it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So for you to do this, I so appreciate you bringing not just me on, but my lovely sister Tona as well. This is really something special, and I appreciate you actually just inviting me, and giving me the opportunity to speak about this book. You are actually the first person who I'm on their show for this, speaking about this topic. So you're helping me get my kinks and my little nervousness out right now. And one thing I really would love to say, I'm blessed to say that I will be 56 years of age. So that means I'm 55 years of age when I wrote this book. So age, when they say ain't nothing but a number, and it's got nothing to do with it, it really does not. So no matter how young you are or not so young, because I'm not old. I told folks after 40, I only get better. So
that's right.
At age of 55 is when I finally wrote my first book. So don't think it's too late. If God put it in you, that means he wants it to come out of you. And it's for us to share with one another, because it really is going to bless someone else. I look at the children who are in my son's school, and they are such phenomenal children. It's a special needs school here in Mercer County. And when I say they have got hearts of gold, and they are just some of the most amazing individuals that you will ever meet. And you just want to embrace them, their sweetness, their kindness, their politeness, their ability, their desire to just want to do things independently and do for themselves is absolutely amazing. It is a wonderful and a beautiful thing to see. But I want to empower them and let them know there's nothing wrong with they're different. Embrace it. They're different is beautiful. And that's really the other part of the message is, just because we're different doesn't mean that we're not attractive or that we are odd. We're an oddball. No, I like being different. My name is different. 55, I have never met another Tesca in this world. Now there's a Tesla out and I don't get any royalties for it. But Tesca is, I'm the only me that I have ever, Tesca that I've met in 55 years of age. And I love odd things. I love different things. So I tell embrace you're different. You're different. It means you are unique. It is a beautiful thing. It is an awesome thing. You are created by the creator, and he don't make no junk. He didn't make any mistakes with us. None of us. So my complexion is beautiful. My hair, my gray is beautiful.
Yes.
I'm loving it. I'm not coloring one strand of it.
She said I'm beautiful. Tona did the hair back thing.
Oh, Tona knows she's gorgeous. She's just beautiful all over the place. Yes.
But I keep my hair black. So being this thing and telling me, like, after a while the microphone should correct its own self. Like, I was trying to read what was going on, and they said if I would stay on, is the microphone adjust its own self. I don't know how true that is.
Well, I haven't set to do that. I haven't set. The podcast is set to do that. So if you just keep talking, I want you to tell us. Thank you, Tesca. I want you to tell us about your book and why you wrote it quickly.
Mine?
Yours.
First of all, let me just start off really fast. Hello, my name is Tona Buck, and I'm a sexual abuse survivor, because that's what my book is about. I became an author maybe 3 years ago with a brain injury. I got hit by a car that left me on the street to die. I went from writing 100-page rants and not being able to spell 3-letter words. And to this day, I'm able to articulate again, but I'm still not able to spell. I published 3 books in one calendar year with brain injury, right? So nobody can tell me what they can't do. Like, I don't got time to listen to no excuses. What can and cannot be done? Because if God bless me, and I always say I'm just a writer, God, or author. There's no way in my life, in my whole being, would I've ever thought that I would be writing, publishing 3 books in one calendar year. So my first book came, like Tessa was saying, it came from out of an important issue for me being a sexual abuse survivor. So what I kept finding, what I kept seeing or hearing was people would say, well, why didn't they tell when we were sexually abused? Because 90% of us who are sexually abused are abused by someone we know and trust. And so I would just be like this. Every time somebody would say, well, why didn't we tell? Because first of all, many of us don't know what to tell. And secondly, we love the person in the room when they get them in trouble. We don't like what they've done, but we love them. So there's many reasons why we didn't tell. So my first book is that second, and it's a book based on my true life. I wrote it in probably 2 months with a brain injury. Go figure. My first book 2 months, and it takes you on a journey of a little girl who started being sexually abused at the age of 3 by someone that she knew and that she trusted. So it goes through, like, from the very beginning. It's raw. People are reading it in like 48 hours. You can get it from Amazon.com. I'm not saying it's a good book because I wrote it. It's a good book as a third person reading it. I'm like, I need to figure out what happened to this little girl. And the good thing for me, I turned out okay. Don't get me wrong. I got my demons, my ups and downs. I made all the crazy stuff too. But it was a part of my growth and my experience, and I survived. And so about 5 years ago, I did a documentary called Why We Didn't Tell. And the documentary took me from being a victim or survivor to now advocate for sexual abuse. And so my book is the beginning of my advocacy of how do we break the silence against sexual abuse. And then I wrote that book. I kept saying I need to do more. Like, what can I do? Because I had thousands of people ask me, how do I prevent my child from being victimized? And in my mind, I keep saying to myself, predators want to prey. That's what they do. They're very crafty. They do what they do. But I believe that we empower and educate our children and stop beginning to talk about this sensitive, and I understand it's a sensitive topic because we make it sensitive, not because it has to be sensitive. It's no different than cancer, AIDS, anything else. We make it sensitive. And so we need to sensitize this topic of sexual abuse. I wrote a book called Stop. I wrote the book, my daughter illustrated the pictures. It's, Stop is for safe touches only, please. And it teaches children about that. Remember good and bad touches, because I just remember when I was grown and I told my mother that I was victimized. She said, I wish you would have told me. I said I didn't know what to tell. I never wanted a child to ever say I didn't know what to tell again. If I got breath, I want them to know what not to tell. I don't want them to have anything, first of all. But if they are victimized, I want to give them power to tell. And then my third book that I wrote, a fun book, it's called Liberate How Why Women Cheat. I just got out of my beautiful, awesome, educated sisters sitting around a circle, talking about, men cheating on them or relationship issues. And I said, you know what, if I was a coach, then I'll be writing a book about it. And so I wrote a book about it. So it's a really good book for men to read. It's a true stories of women and their relationships being cheated on or cheating on people. And it's a really good end of why you shouldn't be doing it or why people even do it. So people are, as a reader, I liked all three of them. As a writer, I'm just shocked that God wrote them, gave me a good writer. To this day, I still have difficulty spelling these verbs. Literally, I'm not exaggerating. So,
Tona, do you have a link where your books
can you hear me?
Can be purchased? Do you have a link where your books can be purchased?
Oh, shoot. Oh, you're hearing me through this. Can you hear me?
Yes. No.
This thing cut back. Okay, I was like, this cut back up for me again. So, yeah, I have difficulty spelling. Like, it's part of my brain never came back, and I'm in the process now to write my fourth book.
Okay.
I'm still having difficulty spelling.
And so I want to thank you, Tona. You have a phenomenal story, and I want to give you a chance to simply tell that story on another podcast. I want you to tell the story. Advertise the book here and tell the story. But for both of you, as I've shared, my intention is to lift you up and to share your book. And Tona, as you know, I share your podcast. When you share it, I share it. It's posted on a few of my pages. And I think it's important that, Tesca, people hear your story because it's something that's sorely lacking in America. Anything that's different is a problem. And Tona, I think it's incredible. People have to hear your story because they have to know there's a survivor inside and that they can and they will if they'll just try. They don't have to submit to what typically comes with abuse. If they'll hear you, if they'll hear you, if they'll take Tesca, Tona, your experience, your strength, and your hope, it's going to change the game for them. You're game changers. And I appreciate you. And so, unfortunately, we are at the end of our podcast.
For having us on.
I'm going to bring you back again. I appreciate having you here tonight. And as always, at the end of my podcast, I want to remind people we are on YouTube. We're on Facebook at Coaching You For You. We're on Facebook at What Trenton Really Makes. Look us up, like, and subscribe. And if you don't do anything else, put our business in the street. And so today, I want to lift Tesca up.
Thank you,
and say thank you, Tesca, for doing what you did through this book that's going to reach thousands. And I'm going to be a part of marketing to see that it does. Tona, I'm with you, baby.
Yes.
I always have been. That's never going to change. I'm going to lift you up. I want to push you out across New Jersey and the tri-state area.
Thank you.
When we finish, this podcast will reach 1,600 to 6,000 people. I want them to know you, Tesca. I want them to hear your story. And I want you to have a podcast. I'm into podcasting, as you can tell. Tona, I want you to keep doing what you're doing. And when this is over, I'd like to speak with both of you about some things, share some things with you that will help boost you a little bit more. You are welcome to Sister any second Wednesday. Any second Wednesday. You're welcome. I think we can have up to 10 guests on this podcast. And on the first Wednesday of every month, we host Black Men Speak. We want to hear from our Black men. On the second Wednesday is Sister to Sister.
Yes.
On the third Wednesday, it's about people who are getting it right. So Tesca and Tona, you're going to hear your name again on the third Wednesday. People who are getting it right. I appreciate what you're doing. And on the fourth Wednesday, we talk about peopling, how we deal with people at home, at work, at play, and in business, because dealing with people is often difficult. But this is my landing statement for my sisters everywhere. We've got phenomenal stories to share. And if you don't remember anything else tonight, remember Tesca T. Frisbee and the book she wrote, Different, Just Like Me, right? Just like you. Different, just like you. Tesca, you rock. Tona, what's the name of that book? The first book you wrote. There we go. Tell me what it is.
That Second.
That's it.
It's called That Second.
That Second. And there you go. And so Tona and Tesca, keep telling them about it. Keep lifting each other up. Keep doing the phenomenal work that you do. And I want to take a minute, and we have a landing statement on every podcast. Tesca, you'll have one. Tona, you'll have one. Here's my landing statement. Lift her up. What's yours, Tesca?
Mine is to be blessed, healthy, and excited at all times. It's your decision to be blessed, healthy, and excited at all times.
Tona, can you hear me?
Mine is that we're so much stronger together. Can you hear me? We are so much stronger together.
We're so much stronger together.
Like
we're
that.
so much stronger together.
We are so much stronger together. That's it.
We're so much stronger together.
And
I
we are.
appreciate you. I lift you up. And tonight, I want to shout out Demetria Mason for the work she does. I want to shout out Yolande Robinson for the work that she does. I want to shout out Elise Carter Robinson for the work that she does. I want to shout out everybody who believes in themselves and they believe in other women. I salute you. Lift her up. I'm Coach Annette. I am here at Coaching You For You. Teska Frisbee, thank you. Tona Buckteal, I love you. Tona says she has the flu. I don't think so. Tona just came off of a modeling shoot, as did Teska, I'm sure. Thank you both very much.
Thank you, sis.
Horrible.
You look beautiful, though.
And don't stop. And Teska, I don't know if you realized it, but
guys.
My background is blue tonight. There's something in your house that's blue that I love. You already know what it is.
Yes.
It's the place where you gather, right?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly it.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Frisbee. Thank you, Miss Buck. You guys have a great evening. This is Coaching You For You. We are signing off. Thanks for joining our authors tonight. You will hear a whole lot more about them. Do that, ladies. Do it. I salute you. Good night.